Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. And today, the Houston Texans have beat the Arizona Cardinals 21-16 and have won their third straight game. CJ Stroud has an amazing game, throwing 27 for 37 with 336 pass yards and 2 passing touchdowns. He did throw 3 interceptions in this game. They were costly mistakes. I will say, I think, you saw him have a little bit of an injury in that second half. He took a big hit, came off the field for one play, which Davis Mills came in and threw a 2-yard pass to Devin Singletary, which wasn't a huge injury to the Texans. I believe it was his shoulder. I think that might have affected him just a tiny bit in this game because he threw 2 interceptions after that and didn't even throw 100 yards in the second half. But the Texans' defense were able to manage to get them the win in this game and win this one 21-16. Texans had a great performance in the first half. Their offense was the best, I think, in the first half. Even though the offense was great against the Buccaneers, I thought in the first half, with the way it was going, this was the best we've seen the Texans offense. And I think they would have had an amazing game. If you don't make the mistakes they made in the red zone today, they missed a field goal, they threw 3 interceptions, you're looking at potentially 24 points right there that the Texans could have got, if not a little bit less than that. If, maybe the Texans get field goals instead of touchdowns on those interceptions. So those interceptions, and the missed field goal are why this game was so close. But this Texans defense was able to hold up and get them this win. Texans win 21-16. Let's go over the scoring summary. First quarter, it started off, first drive for the Cardinals, a minute and a half in. Kyler Murray throws his first touchdown pass of the season with a 48-yard touchdown pass to Rondale Moore. It's 7-0. But then CJ Stroud throws a 20-yard touchdown pass to Dalton Schultz. It's 7-7. But then Matt Prater, one of the best kickers in the NFL, 57-yard field goal. It's 10-7. And then in the second quarter, the Texans have 2 touchdowns. Devin Singletary, 11-yard touchdown run. It's 14-10. And then CJ Stroud throws a 40-yard bomb to Tank Dell. It's 21-10. Then Kyler Murray has a 1-yard touchdown run, which was clearly a holding on this play. And then a 2-point conversion is failed. It's 21-16. All right, game leaders, Kyler Murray, 20 for 30, 214 pass yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. CJ Stroud, 27 for 37, 336 pass yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Rushing yards, James Conner, 14 carries, 62 rushing yards. The Texans did a really good job at stopping him. Devin Singletary, 22 carries, 112 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving yards, Greg Dortch had 6 receptions for 76 receiving yards. Tank Dell had 8 receptions for 149 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Davis Mills threw 1 for 1 with 2 passing yards. Besides Devin Singletary, the Texans did run the ball 3 other times, but for -1 yards. Singletary had 22 carries, 112 yards, and 1 touchdown. Andrew Beck had 1 carry, which was on a 3rd down and had 0 yards. Mike Boone had a carry on 4th down and 2, had 0 yards. And CJ Stroud had 1 carry for -1 yard, so he didn't run at all in this game. And then receiving, besides Tank Dell and Nico Collins, to keep in mind, Texans didn't have Noah Brown. Nico Collins had 7 receptions for 65 receiving yards. Robert Woods had 5 receptions for 44 receiving yards. Also, Dalton Schultz had 2 receptions for 32 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Steven Sims got his first action of the 2023 season. On a 2nd and 20, he had a 23-yard reception. He had 2 receptions for 25 receiving yards. John Mechie had 1 reception for 12 yards. And then Devin Singletary had 2 receptions for 6 yards, and Mike Boone had 1 reception for 5 yards. All right, fumbles in this game. The Cardinals did lose a fumble. This was on a punt. Antonio Hamilton Sr. fumbled. It was recovered by Kadar Holman. James Conner, Kyler Murray fumbled in this game. It was recovered by James Conner, their running back. All right, Texans defense, because it was amazing. Blake Cashman had himself an amazing day for this Texans defense. Had 19 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. Texans defense had 3 sacks. Besides Cashman, Will Anderson Jr. had 1 with 2 tackles for loss. And also, they had a team sack as well. Jalen Petrie had 6 tackles. Derek Stingley Jr. had 6 tackles. Christian Harris was doing everything, was deflecting passes, was getting big tackles. 1 was a tackle for loss. Christian Harris was making a difference in this game. He had 5 tackles. All 5 of them were solo tackles too. And then DeAndre Houston Carson, who's been pretty good since the Texans got him, had 5 tackles. Tavier Thomas had 5. Steven Nelson, Dylan Horton both had 3. Will Anderson Jr., Jerry Hughes, and Novelli Hewitt had 2. George Fant, which that was on one of the interceptions, had 1. And Khalil Davis, Jonathan Gennard, and Malik Collins all had 1 tackle. Tackles for loss, Will Anderson Jr. had 2, Cashman and Petrie had 1, so did Harris, and Khalil Davis did 2, and so did Jonathan Gennard. All right, interceptions, Derek Stingley Jr. with the 2nd interception of his career, and that was it for interceptions for the Texans. The 3 interceptions that C.J. Stroud threw to: Antonio Hamilton Jr., who fumbled on the punt, Jalen Thompson, and then a 46-yard return for Chris Barnes. So the Texans get the win, 21-16, win their 3rd straight game. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out. Go Texans.